Hello everyone, this is Jason Kibilan, and in this presentation I will try to show what we learned in the CIT 260 course that we're taking this semester. The first thing we're going to talk about is static versus non-static methods. A static method belongs to a class, while a non-static method or instance method belongs to objects of that class. So here's some characteristics of static methods. A static method can access static methods and variables as follows. A static method can only call other static methods. It cannot call a non-static method. A static method can be called directly from the class without having to create an instance of the class. A static method can only access static variables. It cannot access instant variables. Since the static method refers to the class, the syntax to call or refer to a static method is class name dot method name. To access a non-static method from a static method, create an instance of the class. And right here is some characteristics of non-static methods. A non-static method in Java can access static methods and variables as follows. A non-static method can access any static method without creating an instance of the class. A non-static method can access any static variable without creating an instance of the class because the static variable belongs to the class. So let's look at some examples. The first example I have here is for a non-static method. As you can see in the top right here, we have the game menu view method, which shows the game menu to the user. Now, in this bottom right corner here, we can see a little snippet from the character view class. In this class, you're able to pick what character you want to start off with your group. So right here we have a snippet if you pick Bob. As you can see, if you do pick Bob, it'll print out you pick Bob, and then after that it wants to show the game menu to the user. So because the game menu view method is a non-static method, in order to invoke that method, you have to create an object for it. So as you can see in these last two lines of syntax here, you can see that you created the game menu object and to call for the game menu view method. This next example is for a static method. Let's go to the weather control class. You can see here the generate weather method is labeled static. So jump over to the right side here. We have the game control class. And as you can see on the bottom here, we do not need to create an object to invoke the generate weather method because it's static. So as you can see, it differs from the non-static syntax where all you have to do is name the class it's in and what the method is. Let's now talk about arrays, array lists, and enums. You want to use an array if you have a fixed size data structure. So in this example, we create the location array. And as you can see here, there are 22 slots in that array. And if you follow the code here, you can see that we have loaded the each here spot of the location array with a location. The first one will be Independence and Kansas River. So as you can see here, there are 22 slots and we have 22 inputs here for the location. And for an array list, it's not defined. So you can add to the list, you can take away from the list. So it fluctuates. That's why you want to use an array list. So as we look here in the character control where we see all the characters that can be put in your group, Bob, Joe, Cindy, Ergon, and Mitch. The array list doesn't have a set number here because sometimes you want to have 3 of these members, sometimes 4, sometimes 1. So you could add and take away from this array list. And as far as enums are lists of constants. When you need a predefined list of values which do represent some kind of numeric or textual data, you should use an enum. An example is for the items we use in enum. As you can see here, the items are oxen, small, medium, large wagon, food, ammo, and wheel. These will never change, so that's why you want to use an enum. In the rubric for this assignment, it says to show an example of a for and a for each loop. I don't think we used a for loop, but we do have an example of a for each loop here. As you can look at this item list that is to be printed, you can see here that in this for each loop, we're going to take the items in the item list that we were talking about previously with the ox and the food and the bullets and the wagon wheels and stuff. We're going to get each item one by one. So in this loop, the first thing that it's going to print out is it's going to get the item name and then the description and then the cost. And then after it gets that, it'll loop back and then go to the second slot and get the second item, the second description of the item, the cost, and it'll keep going until it copies until it prints out all the items on that list. I'm now going to try to demonstrate through examples of code how to throw, propagate, and catch custom runtime error. So let's look at the main menu view here. So if a user wants to start a new game, the user will hit N, which will call for the start game method. The start game method equals the new game method here in the game control class. So if we put a throws syntax here, throws game control exception here. So if say the player equals null, then it'll throw an exception saying you cannot create a new game because there's no player there. So because we put the throw here, we go back to the main menu view class code here, and we can see that it'll catch the control exception error that it shows here, and then it'll send a message that says that there is an error and that you cannot start a new game. Moving along, let's now talk about character stream versus byte stream in Java. So a stream is a way of sequentially accessing a file. In a byte stream accesses the file byte by byte. Java programs use byte streams to perform input and output of 8-bit bytes. It is suitable for any kind of file, however not quite appropriate for text files. For example, if the file is using a Unicode encoding and a character is represented with 2 bytes, the byte stream will treat these separately and you will need to do the conversion yourself. Byte-oriented streams do not use any encoding scheme, while character-oriented streams use character encoding scheme, Unicode. All byte stream classes are descended from input stream and output stream. Character streams. A character stream will read a file character by character. Character stream is a higher level concept than byte stream. A character stream is effectively a byte stream that has been wrapped with logic that allows it to output characters from a specific encoding. That means a character stream needs to be given the file's encoding in order to work properly. Character stream can support all types of character sets, ASCII, Unicode, UTF-8, UTF-16, etc. All character stream classes are descended from reader and writer. I now am going to attempt to try and show how to write character data to an external file. So bear with me here. I'm not really good at this. So let's go to the main Oregon Trail class here, and we're gonna create a out file, an in file, and a log file. What we're trying to accomplish here is to write errors into the log file. So if you scroll down a little more down in the code here, you can see that in the try statement here, we open character string files for the end user input and output. You can see with the buff reader and the print writer. Also, we create a log file text to where the error is going to be printed in. So now we create a public, we create an error view class. In here, we'll create a class variable for the error file and assign it to out file. And then we'll create a function to display the error message. So if whenever there's an error message sent out, it's going to, with the syntax here, with the log error, it's going to push that error and print it into the log file. Finally, let's demo this game. As you can see, you get a little overview of what's going on in this Oregon Trail journey. Let's put a name in here. I'll put my name. As you can see, welcome to the game, Jason. Have fun. So let's start a new game. I'll hit N. And as you can see here, I can pick from Bob, Joe, Cindy, Aragon, Mitch. Let's make it easy. I'll pick Bob. I'll hit B. And it tells me you picked Bob. And right here it goes to the game menu. We unfortunately didn't finish this game, so we didn't get to be able to move characters, but there's some stuff we can show here, like if I wanted to view the map. So hit M, and as you can see here, it shows, since this is a text-based game, it'll show all the areas here in the game. The first town you'll hit is Independence. You can tell it's a town, a river, a fort, or I think there are landmarks too. And they also show the distance to Oregon. So pretty much these are first come, first serve, I guess. The Independence is the first place you'll hit, and go down the line till you reach all the way to Oregon City. So let's go back and see what else we can find here. How about if we want to know what the weather is? Hit W. Oh, the weather looks like snow. It's cold. Light frost has covered the trail. The distance we travel today will be affected a little. How about pace? Let's go back. Let's go set the pace. Let's see, P. Oh, I got a little average fast. Let's go average. Set A. Oh, okay. Now let's set its pace. Set your pace, and the pace is now the average. Hopefully you've enjoyed this presentation, and I thank you guys for spending the time to watch it. Before I leave, I cannot thank my teammates enough, Brett and JR. I struggled with this class, and they went above and beyond and did all they could to help me out, and always answered questions that I had, no matter what time it was. And I am so grateful that they are my teammates, and I wish them luck, and I wish everyone else luck in this class. See you guys.